The state capture inquiry is focusing on land deals in Mpumalanga this morning. Meanwhile, as you heard, the former State Security Minister Bongani Bongo appearing in court today alongside 10 other suspects on those fraud and corruption charges. Now, this is not the first time that the senior ANC member has had a brush with the law. A previous court appearance centered on efforts to bribe an evidence leader in Parliament's 2017 Eskom inquiry. For more on this now, let's bring in the former chair of that inquiry, and that's former MP Zukiswa Rantho. Rantho joins us via our telephone line this morning. Zukiswa, thanks very much for your time and welcome to the AM report. It's an interesting complex we find ourselves in, and hopefully we'll be able to connect the dots seamlessly. But you're certainly credited as one of the people who worked tirelessly to get to the bottom of what was happening at Eskom. As a start, let me get your reflections about the developments we've seen over the past few days. In fact, my understanding is that just yesterday, 2 Eskom executives were in the Palm Ridge Specialized Commercial Crimes Court. They're facing charges in relation to a deal to do with the Medupi and Kusile power stations amounting to millions of rand. Do you feel that your work and your efforts are finally coming to fruition?
Thank you very much, Ayanda, and let me greet your viewers. Ayanda, I feel so much fulfilled about what is happening because when we started the inquiry, it felt like we are witch hunting as the portfolio committee, but now what we did is about to yield good results.
Yeah, and Bongani Bongo is the man, if you like, today who is enjoying a lot of attention, for better or for worse. Help us understand his alleged involvement, or at least what was found to be his involvement through the inquiry that you chaired back in 2017.
The issue of Bongani Bongo was sort of a two-way issue because it was between him and the evidence leader, Mr. Vanara. What happened on that afternoon, it was only what was happening between the two. We could not really get into it because I only heard about it from Mr. Vanara, but I was not part of the conversation between Mr. Vanara and Mr. Bongo.
Yeah. So the allegation, I think it's widely known because it's been widely reported in the media, is that, in fact, Bongani Bongo tried to bribe Tutuzelo Vanara, who's the legal advisor in this inquiry, and people were trying to piece together to what end he'd be doing that. But part of the reason we're having this conversation is because now he's appeared to have had another run-in with the law. Speak to us about what it takes to be investigating widespread allegations of corruption involving someone as prominent as Bongani Bongo, because I know your involvement in the inquiry has had ramifications not only for you but also for the safety of your family.
Yes, it takes a lot of work, a lot of strength, but the issue of Bongani Bongo with the land issue, we did not know about it up until it came up from the media. And I think, people are watching us as public representatives, as people who are in the highest offices. I think we just need to count our steps, to look at what we are doing. It is an unfortunate situation that Mr. Bongo or Honorable Bongo finds himself in. It's really an unfortunate situation.
And in spite of that, he made it to the parliamentary list, which sees him as an MP now. And in some respects, you didn't. What message do you think that sends to the public about what, prominent figures, as you put it, are doing in a country like ours?
The issue of going back to Parliament of being on the list, it's something that is really done by the branches of the ANC. The processes of those lists, it on them, but if your branch, your region, people that have got the real power to take you back to parliament did not see it fitting for you to go back, you can't do anything. But I think the ANC is trying to develop its own ways of doing things, and it's especially in the issue of selecting and electing people that are credible to go to parliament. I think that would unfold as time goes on, and we'll be able to get people that we really see that would not embarrass the ANC, and that we really see that would be the correct people to be in parliament. I'm not saying people that are in parliament are not correct, because it's their branches that sent them to parliament. So their branches saw them being the correct people to go to parliament.
But as someone who's worked so closely with the maladministration that involves an ANC parliamentarian, what message do you think it sends to the electorate when that individual is then elected back into parliament? I understand it's not necessarily a process you have a hand in, and in many respects it's a process you have to accept. But for South Africans watching, when you think critically about what it sends, given your experience, the message it sends, how do you think people should be responding to that outcome?
Yes, people should be responding, because it's about them. It's about the electorate. It's about the communities of South Africa. They should get involved in selecting or electing their leaders. I think with what is happening now in the by-elections of councillors, I think that would happen maybe when when people are elected to parliament, because within these by-elections now, people are taken to the communities themselves, regardless of which party they are coming from, but the communities are given chance to select and elect their own person that they want to work with them on the ground. I think if that process can be developed into a better process within the ANC and within the communities, would have strong leaders, would have credible leaders that will lead us in parliament.
Right. Before we let you go, Zukiswa, the parliamentary inquiry that you led, which started in 2017, finalized its report last year, if memory serves me correctly. It received unanimous support from political parties. In fact, Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan said it was a brilliant report. Are you happy with how the criminal justice system has responded to the work that you've done insofar as this is concerned?
Yes, I am very happy of what the criminal justice have done so far. I hope they would strengthen their ways of working and get everybody who is behind the state capture, who has been involved in everything that is wrong that has been done in all departments, not only in public enterprises. In all departments, everybody should be brought to book.
All right, thanks very much for your time and for weighing in on this issue. Zukiswa Rantho is the former Eskom inquiry chair. That was a parliamentary process involving former Minister Bongani Bongo. We know today, of course, the former minister is back in court on a different issue. But that was just really the context about the circumstances surrounding him as he now deals with this parallel process, if you like.